Bet you can't do it like me. Oh, shit. Lock this in. Blessings. Whoa, that was weird. Okay. Blessings, you beautiful beings. How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Welcome to 99.9 XM. You are now tuned in to Earth Soul Radio with your host, Astro 5D, baby. You are now tuned in to Soul Radio 99.9 XM with your host, Astro 5D. That's me. Okay, so it looks like my internet is still down. I really wanted to do something with this, but it's all right. It's all right. Y'all know we out here in California. Do you drink alcohol? No. We out here in California. Well, actually, I did drink some wine last year, so just to be transparent, but I didn't like the way it made my stomach feel. So no, I don't drink alcohol. Oh, I do drink Chinese herbs, fermented Chinese herbs. Blessings, Sam, Tayana, we've been missing you. You can come back over to Patreon. I do drink fermented Chinese herbs, and when they are fermented, then they do have an alcohol content. And if you don't know about fermented Chinese herbs, you're doing yourself a disservice. Look up Gugong and Tiger Balm. Gugong, Tiger Balm. Look up those. Also, somebody introduced me to one last year called, what was it called? Triloca? Something like that. Oh, and three spirits. I'm making my way soon. Hey, listen, it's up to, listen, we about to talk about it right now. Pluto and Aquarius. You know, this energy is nothing to play with. We about to have a whole discussion talking about it right now. Okay. So I'm just trying to let people fill in so we can ease our way into this. So I want you to look at this sigil. Look at this glyph. You don't read it. Let your subconscious mind read it. You see, these glyphs, they're like this for a reason. Somebody didn't just say like, oh, you know what would look cool? Let me like do a circle and make Pluto look like a girl going, wee. No. It's representing something here, okay? Every single glyph that you see on the natal chart represents something, okay? For example, what does Aries look like? Now we're about to get into it. So let's get into it. For example, what does Aries look like? Double entendre. Aries looks like this, no? Right? With the, what does that represent? Oh, if for y'all who've been asking me, yes, we do have astrology classes. We're at the last astrology class of this semester. We just did our second to last class today. And then next week is going to be our last astrology class before we take a break. Okay. So I will let y'all know when the second round is starting for the people who want to come take beginner classes. And then the class is going to be taught by more than just myself. You're going to be taught by other readers as well. Okay. So what does Aries look like? I want y'all to, before we get into it, y'all, um, let me turn on my radio so I don't freak out my neighbors. I don't want them to think I'm like this voodoo man up in here talking loud about astrology. I just moved in this apartment. Okay, let's get into it. I want y'all to get a pen, get a pad. This is class, okay? I want y'all to show up prepared because the things that we're going to talk about today, y'all need to remember. Y'all need to write down and remember some way, somehow, so that when it happens, y'all can say that you were warned. We told y'all what was going to happen. Hello? Okay. So let's get into it. What does Aries look like? Aries. What does that represent? Two things that comes to mind. So when you think about the natal chart, now I'm not going to give y'all everything. I'm just going to give y'all a little intro about the things we go over in class. All right. But when you think about the natal chart, you want to think about the journey of the soul. Okay. It starts at the first house, Aries. Aries is the incarnation of the soul into a physical body. It starts in Aries. It goes to the second house, your values. The third house, you're learning how to speak. The second house is when your parents give you like physical things like toys and stuff, you know, okay? The third house, when you start to speak to your sisters and your brothers in your direct environment. Fourth house, you learn about your family, where you came from, the family you're incarnated to. The fifth house, you start to focus on the things, your form of playing. Do you like to paint? Do you like to go outside and play football with your friends? The sixth house, you learn that, oh, it's not just about me playing with everybody. I have to share. I have to sometimes help Billy do his homework. I have to sometimes be of service to other people. Okay? The seventh house, oh, wait a minute. So now I got into a fight with my friend. Now I got to work on my interpersonal skills. Now I got to work on my connection with other people. Eighth house. Okay, now that I've got my connections with other people down, I have to focus on, I'm going to keep it PG, a different type of connection with other people. You learn about yourself in the eighth house. The eighth house is also about, oh, wait, I can get money from people as well. Oh, I can borrow from people. The eighth house is not only about sex, it's about receiving things from people, physical things. Okay, eighth house is really important. Scorpio, besides Aquarius, it's like a key, a strong key in the natal chart. Okay. Ninth house, you learn about your higher forms of knowledge. You learn about, oh, wait a minute, mom wants me to go to, I have to not only paint when I go to school, I have to do homework now. Higher forms of learning. 10th house, oh, wait, why is everybody looking at me? What? Oh, it's how you deal with other people. The ninth house is how you see yourself when it comes to you learning other things, when it comes to you learning about other cultures, other forms of learning. The ninth house is when you start to learn about, oh, wait a minute, there's a whole nother land over there with foreigners. 10th house, how does other people see you? What are you doing in this life to leave a legacy? 11th house, friends. How many of us have them? Okay. 12th house, the ending of cycles. You up here, you know when nobody else is around and you got that little, voice talking to you up here? That's your 12th house. That's your subconscious mind. Your 12th house is your trauma, your connection to the hidden realms, the altered states of consciousness, That's why the 12th house rules over drugs and things that can take you out of the physical into other forms of body, your casual body, etheric body, mental body, spiritual body. Okay, that's the journey of the soul. Okay, that's the journey of the soul from the 1st to the 12th. Blessings, Ebony. Okay, so what we're going to do today is focus on one of those houses. We're going to focus on, well, actually two, Pluto and Aquarius. We're going to focus on the marrying, the relationship between Pluto moving into Aquarius. Okay, and what that looks like for us as people, what that looks like with the important alignment that we have coming up. Like I mentioned earlier, the thing that's about to happen in our reality, unfathomable. Well, not really unfathomable, because we're going to tell you what's going to happen, but in the way that it's going to happen, we have never seen before. Like the things that are about to happen right now. And for the people going to Coachella, you're about to have the time of your life, guaranteed. We just talked about that in class. Okay, so for my 5D readers, I'm going to call y'all up in a minute. Y'all can just send me the requests, and we're going to get y'all up here so we can do our interpretations. So another thing is when you think about Pluto, okay, cool. Jamie, I see your request. Perfect. Amber, Lily, if y'all up here, send your request. Okay, so before we talk about Pluto in Aquarius, okay, let's talk about what they mean separately. Pluto. Do you guys know any? Perfect. Okay, Amber, I see Jamie. Perfect. Oh, 5D readers in the building. Pluto. Do y'all know any rising Scorpios? Do y'all know anybody who has Jupiter in Scorpio? Any Venus in Scorpio people? Very mysterious people. Right? Always like to wear black. Always like to talk about like their listen. Actually, that's not a. Oh yeah, Brittany's a Scorpio rising, so I can say this, Brittany. You can tell me if I'm wrong or right. The stare of a Scorpio rising will pierce through your soul. Okay? Scorpio is often connected to a scorpion. However, traditionally, Scorpio is known as a eagle. But the eagle is derived from the phoenix. I have Pluto and Scorpio rising in my 12th. It's in your 12th, probably on your Placidus chart. Okay, Aquarius. I have Pluto in the 12th too, probably in your Placidus chart. Depending on the degree, but anyway, don't get me started. Okay, I have to be fast too, y'all, because my battery is only on like 40%, so we're gonna make this quick. Okay, so Aquarius. What does Aquarius mean? I'm glad you asked. We're about to discuss that. I'm going to bring up the 5D readers that I would like to introduce you all to, but first, before I do that, I want to tell you about the trending topics for Pluto and Aquarius. Now, there was a way that I was able to bring up a picture up here. Nope, that's not it. Oh, I guess they stopped doing the function that will let me show y'all a photo. Okay, so I'm just going to read y'all the list from my MacBook here for the trending topics. Okay, so oh, did I not write that down? Okay. Um, so I'll tell y'all right now. The trending topics are going to be. Actually, I'm going to have one of the readers come and remind me because I did a whole list that I'm not able to pull up right now because my internet is down. But it's Pluto and Aquarius, polygamy, polyamory, um, VR intercourse. Um, Damn, I did like 12 things. Virtual, virtual hangouts. Um, I can't remember the list right now, but we're gonna get into it. Revolution. Thank you so much. The list will come back to me as we start to break it down. Um, and maybe while they're up here, I'll take a peek at my list. Okay. Jamie and, and Nicole. Hey, no, build it.
Hey.
Yeah, perfect, perfect. Okay. Um, introduce yourself. Introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm Amber. Hey, y'all.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Jamie.
Yes.
Hey.
These are three of the 5D readers. So today we're doing our interpretation of Pluto. If you came, you're going to be able to catch this video on YouTube and in the next season 2 of the podcast. Okay. So let's just talk like we do in class, y'all. Let's talk on the quick. Um, what are some things we can just you know shoot off the rip? What are some things that we can expect with Pluto and Aquarius? And I'm going to take a list while y'all do.
So I'll definitely start with the Pluto and Aquarius. We obviously are going to see like a big boom in tech. Just a lot of the ways that we communicate, just a lot of the ways we use our cell phones, the way we communicate with each other, the way we meet up, the way people are dating, even the whole medical industry, just the way that you're going to be treated by doctors. More than likely, you're not even going to be treated by a doctor. So just, the things that we see in the movies, people think the things that we think that like, would never happen, like those things are really coming into fruition. Um, yeah.
All right, now starting off plain. What else, ladies?
I think we're also going to see a lot of revolution. So when we look at Pluto and Aquarius, it brings about deep transformation. And one of the points that Astro brought up in our class is that the last time that this took place, there was a revolution, a French Revolution, and a revolution in the United States. So we will be seeing lots of groups of people going down that road and thinking towards that way.
Mm, yes, yes. All right, and let's start for a second, get out because I want to talk about that. So why she because history, past events are always going to give you a glimpse of things that could happen. Okay, so let's talk about this. Pluto, you have the the planet of hidden, mystery, occult, business, taxes, other people's money, all of that, rebirth, spiritual death, physical death, especially the spiritual death. Okay, but you're gonna have groups of people going through these changes same damn time. Okay, but what's going to make this Pluto and Aquarius drastically different from the Pluto and Aquarius that happened at the beginning of 1778 is that you got Pluto, Mercury, Mars, the sun, the moon, and Venus all like, hey, we're going to go into Aquarius too. Now, I would have to go back and look at the year 1778 and before, but I would say that this specific alignment, if it's ever happened before, then it hasn't happened in over 300 years. Okay. I think I can confidently say that because you have to take into consideration retrogrades. Okay. So Pluto and Aquarius, power to the people, is going to be enhanced by Mars. I mean, if you leave out Mercury, you leave out Venus, you leave out the sun and moon, you got Mars affecting the people, affecting groups of people. Do y'all know what's happening right now in Paris that's not being televised? Have y'all seen the photos? They got the city surrounded, boy, with bales of hay, farmers, like they are running the city. Okay, so let's talk about that, ladies. How is this particular Pluto and Aquarius, how's it going to be enhanced by not only Mars, but you got Venus and you got Mercury, the way that people talk.
So when I think about like just new Pluto and Aquarius energy, we know that it's about groups. So it's definitely about people finding their tribe and joining together. Like you may be from different walks of life, but joining together for a specific cause to rethink how something should be done. So like, you know, you may find someone like people dressing different, people that you normally wouldn't talk to would be like coming together like, yeah, I believe that same thing. Let's, go together. Let's take over. Let's, rethink how we do things. Having smaller communities as far as like, we're going to get back to like in-person things. So like, even though it will have like the AI and all of those things like that, but it'll be like doing things on a smaller in-person basis, like small communities coming together. One of the things that you had talked about is like the tiny home community, like people purchasing a set of land, like-minded, but coming from different places and then joining together for a like root cause or to be able to commune together and things like that and pulling their resources together.
Yep.
So that's going to be something that's big. And then somebody said about the water and everything like that, like a lot of the war that's happening is going to be over water. So things happening, the Navy, think of things like Navy, the storms, things like that that involve with massive amounts of water. You're on mute. I can't hear you a little bit.
On. She's spot on.
Right. And we just had this full moon, the first full moon of the year, and it was the wolf moon. And it was really sending the energy of, pick your pack and your place in it. And so as this, moves on, these social structures are going to change because people are not necessarily picking the same things that they were before. And they're really banding together using, like Amber said, technology to find each other so that they can have that connection.
Precisely.
And we're definitely already seeing that with, the Apple glasses that just dropped last week. So it's like people are, like you said, meeting up. We're doing these mystery schools. We're finding ways to, speak about the way we're making change. Like we're speaking about the occult, we're speaking about astrology, we're speaking about different ways to view things, we're speaking about just, a complete change in how we've been taught. We're, just knowing like almost everything we've been taught in school and up until this point has been a complete lie. And so we're building these online mystery schools to, teach and relearn, these things. And sometimes, you see it when you talk to people who, aren't really, into stuff like that. And they kind of give you that blank stare. You're like, but and I feel like, with the innovation and the technology that's coming up is giving you the opportunity to find people who are like-minded and to see that, which is like showing how we found each other in this group, and just the stuff that we talk about. So You're going to definitely see that a lot more. I definitely see a lot of people dive deepening into the Patreon, the OnlyFans, and stuff like that. So just the way we communicate, the way we meet up, the way we socialize is going to be completely different.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't
Yes,
Oh,
it
think you'd be
definitely.
watching this live unless you really were starting to resonate with the things that Astro says and it sparked your
Exactly.
learning and you're ready to understand like how does this all interconnect and like what does it mean for me and then what does it mean for the world? And those answers are there, but you've got to study and you have to dig into it.
The real big question is like, who am I and where do I fit in?
Mm-hmm.
And then finding those people that either give you the information, because Aquarius is about information, transferring information back and forth. You pull on also, that Mercury energy and everything like that is just a different form and way you may communicate. So trying to figure out who you are, if you are having that kind of energy, like who am I and what am I supposed to be doing here? And where are my people? Who are my people? The same people that you may be finding you are shedding your shell per se, like the same groups of people that you may have been kicking it with, or they don't resonate, you don't feel them anymore, it's not serving its purpose, because Pluto is about that rebirth, that death, and like shedding your shell and saying that doesn't work for me anymore. So let me go find what does work. And then someone, you see alive or you see something and then you start asking the questions, because you'll see in the comments, they'll be like, I have this place because it does rule astrology. So you're like, well, I have that placement. Well, what's that mean? What's that mean? And so that just takes you down the rabbit hole. And then you find your people. And then, the best way to learn is to learn yourself. It's easy to ask a question, people can give you the answer, but it doesn't make sense. So how you make that make sense is you learn on your own. And that's about also like the Aquarius energy with the Pluto, relearning how you see yourself and others.
exactly. Oh, perfect. You know, now it's a yin and yang to everything. So let's talk about the other side to this. Now, I don't want to discourage anybody from going out and connecting with other people. But if you're like me, probably afraid of other humans sometimes. It's okay. I get you. I see you. So even if you're in a tribe right now, um, I want to say this with caution. Even if you're in a tribe right now, there's a chance that the people that you are kicking it with now is they're going to look completely different from the people that you may be with like next year or in 5. Why do I say this? We've already been through this together as a tribe. When Pluto has already been in Aquarius, and we used to have more people in our tribe, but as soon as Pluto got into Aquarius, we had people leave the tribe, and it wasn't. It's like it has to happen. It has to happen because if you were just going through life without any rebirth moment, without any dark moments, then you would not appreciate them. So this Pluto and Aquarius energy is going to exactly, Miss LSF, is going to have you go through transformation, right? So you might meet somebody whose only job is to trigger you to take off the old you so you can go through a dark night of the soul and become a new person. That's going to happen a lot with Pluto and Aquarius. I'm sorry, but it is.
Don't fight it. The more you fight it, the worse it'll get.
Exactly. Also, another thing that I want to talk about with Pluto and Aquarius is the digital afterlife. They've been preparing, Javon in the building, I see you, bro. They've been preparing us for the digital afterlife with Upload, with the feed, with you name the shows. Okay.
Westworld.
We
Westworld,
just
right?
finished watching what is what's the show we're watching? The
Travelers.
Travelers, like
Yeah.
going into the next life, like redoing things, being able to like switch over. So they show us things. If you look back on movies or shows that you've watched in the past, it's like forewarning or showing you exactly what's coming.
Exactly. And you know what? It's not only the digital afterlife, but it's our life. Like funerals in our reality are about to be completely different. Like you going to somebody's funeral, watching them get buried in the ground, then singing, that's about to change. They're about to bring up problems with, hey guys, funeral, whatever. What do you call them? What are those things called? Cemeteries. Cemeteries are getting too overcrowded, yada yada. Because I don't know if y'all know the story with cemeteries and how. I don't want to go down that road, but y'all do the research. Okay, it's gross. So they're going to kind of restructure that, and you might be able to. They already have one where you can plant somebody's body and make them a tree. So imagine taking the spark of somebody, taking their consciousness, and then saying, we can take their consciousness, put it on this chip, give it to you, and you're going to be able to interact with them like what was it? Those digipets?
Holograms,
Yeah,
like the hologram kind
yeah,
of
like how
things.
I was gonna say those little digipets we used to have in first grade. The Takachis. What? Anyway, I used to love those things. But you,
Yeah. They
the,
said the Neuralink technology is here. The first patient received the implant.
exactly, y'all. That happened.
Black Mirror.
Hmm.
Neuralink, Alexa just released glasses. Um, y'all don't think Apple had this VR headset like 3 or 5, 10 years ago? They were waiting for Pluto and Aquarius. What else can we expect to see Pluto and Aquarius, y'all?
Um, I was going to say about the tax system and the way we do taxes and the laws and everything. So, like, Pluto is that eighth house energy. So that has to do with the way we pay taxes, and people like join together and be like, I'm not paying no taxes. You're not taking my money. Like, just in the way that we support the so-called matrix and the system, it's going to be like people banding together and exposure season. So Pluto energy, that eighth house is going to get in the crevices of the stuff that people don't want to know about and stuff and expose. So I'm pretty sure you guys have seen up and down your timelines, left and right, people getting exposed, things coming out of the woodworks. They actually like people actually reading the laws. Like, did y'all see what this one said down here, opposed to just the surface level of what the media is showing you? People are invested and then taking stance together. Like, no, that's not what we want.
Yes.
Yeah,
Come on.
especially Pluto being like, the sign of the shift in power structures. I truly believe that I don't know if we'll see another president, but if so, this is definitely going to be the last one.
Fact. And something else that is really important about this is it just left my head. Um, it just left my head. Okay, somebody else say something. It's gonna. Oh no. Uh, okay. So whenever you see, we were just talking about this in class. Now, when we tell y'all something's gonna happen, it's based off of these aspects. An aspect is nothing but friction. I'm not gonna go too much into that. From where y'all have to. Um,
Are you talking about the air signs, the collective air?
well, hold
Hold
that
that
thought. We're gonna.
thought. I was
That,
going to say, write that down so you can remember this album.
yeah, because they're gonna have to write that down because it's gonna happen. But okay, whenever when Jamie's saying like these things are going to happen and people are going to get exposed, it's not her just saying it to say it. Like it is actually happening. So when the moon was in Scorpio, it was squaring Pluto and Aquarius. Now the thing that you're going to have to Pluto and Aquarius by itself is going to be encompass everything that we're talking about, but especially when it has aspect to another planet, then you're going to just we've never witnessed Pluto in Aquarius, let alone interact with anything else. So you already saw what happened when Pluto and Aquarius square the moon of Scorpio. 21 Savage cheating scandal got exposed. That was the first thing you saw on Twitter. Mercury in Capricorn conjuncting with Mars in Capricorn. Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj beefing with each other. So if it's happening in the chart for the moment, you're going to see it play out in our reality in some way. So when we talk about Pluto and Aquarius, take heed. Write these things down. Okay. Nicole, let's go back to your point that you were talking about, because that's about to happen, and we need to talk about it.
So we have Pluto in Aquarius, and Aquarius is an air sign. And that in itself, when we were talking about, what brings big air when you really think about it, what type of storms happen with big air. And so, our predictions are that we're going to see an onslaught of more tornadoes, that we will see a lot of water movement with air, more storms, windstorms, hurricanes, and tsunamis.
Write it down.
Yes. I'm pretty sure y'all saw that video that was in Japan where the water had came into the base. I don't know if y'all saw that video floating around. That was when the beginning of Pluto and Aquarius, like things like that, taking people off guard even, you know what I'm saying? And like, it's like all this rain, and then they had I think it was did you guys have a earthquake or something like that? And then now it's like all the rain is coming, and I don't know about you all, wherever you are in the, world or United States or things like that, where you've just seen torrential downpours over several days, not just like a little bit of rain or something like that, but dumping of water, and then just causing, a lot of flood damage and things like that. So I'm going to go on record and say that if you live in areas that you may be susceptible to those flood things, to either get flood insurance or move.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now,
we did also discuss, though, the uptake in the extraterrestrial sightings, specifically over water.
Yes, man, listen. Okay. I hope y'all writing these down. These ladies are giving y'all golden insight, okay? Now, the big air comes in. Y'all, okay, listen out for these words. Record-breaking wind gust. Y'all going to hear it.
Exactly.
We have record-breaking wind gusts. We have name a wind that you've never heard before. Something crazy, like 100 miles per hour. Something crazy. Now, Jupiter, actually, we'll talk about that in a second. This is the year of air, big air. Matter of fact, y'all might even hear the term big air. If they do some type of games or something like that this year, I guarantee y'all the slogan is going to be something about the air, big air. I guarantee it, right? Okay, so what she said, tornadoes, hurricanes, tsunamis. Please remember tsunamis, because any of those planets touch Saturn and Pisces is done. It's a wrap for the water, especially the ocean, because Pisces represents the ocean. Okay. You have different.
I was going to say so. Oh, go ahead. Oh,
you have different levels of each element. Okay. You have Aries, like pew pew fire. Then you have Leo that's like, hey, I'm fire. You have Aries that's like, I'm hell. You got Taurus that's like, I'm grass. You got Virgo that's like, I'm the metal. Do you have Capricorn that's like, I'm earth itself? So each element that you go through with the natal chart gets a little bit bigger, okay? So you have Gemini that's like, you got Libra that's like, wind gust. And you got Aquarius that's like, we did not see him. The took him out the... Okay? So you got all of these planets in Aquarius, the strongest air element of them, y'all. So if this was all taking place in Libra, we would tell y'all, y'all be prepared for like some minimal gust. Okay, it's going to happen. But this is Aquarius, so that's why we're saying hurricanes, tsunamis. Like these are the things that are coming. It's not us guessing; it's us warning you. Hello. Okay. All right. Um. Also, you have Jupiter transiting into Gemini, another air sign. So it's the year of air. Okay. Okay, y'all, what else? Let me take a look at my notes.
I was just gonna say that there were some comments that said does this really happen or do you believe this or anything like that. Like if you just go back and check, like the sun rises whether you believe it or not, like every morning, hopefully wherever you live the sun rises, you know what I'm saying, whether you believe in the sun or not. So it's one of those things, like it's factual, you can fact check it. It's not something that's hypothetical. And also, when we say these things, like this is going to be for the next 20 years. So, depending on what's moving and different things like that, it could be something that happens tomorrow. It could be something that happens towards the end of the 20 years, or it could be something that happens the full time of the 20 years. So just knowing, that's why like Astro would say a lot of times, like studying your chart or studying, just looking at whatever the chart of the day is, just like put that, like start checking, just like you get on and you check social media, check what's happening in the stars, because it'll tell you even about yourself, like what kind of day you're gonna have. Like you may wake up and be like we know when like the moon is in Cancer, we're all like, yeah, we don't really want to go nowhere. We're trying to stay in the house. We don't really got to meet today. You know what I'm saying? Because it's that home energy, because that's what Cancer represents. So you can even predict what kind of day you're going to have. And like, I'm pretty sure y'all know about the horoscopes and stuff like that, but it's more detailed. So the reason why they say, you know, a broad statement for this sign or whatever, and you'd be like, oh yeah, that is me. You know, that's just the surface of it. All of these things that we talk about or we give predictions and stuff like that can literally be planned down to the minute and hour, just like when you were born is how important it's to the minute of the hour. If you would have been born an hour later, you would be a totally different person and living a totally different life.
Exactly.
I love this pin because it really hits home exactly about the air energy. So if you're seeing the birds are doing strange things, this is exactly what we're talking about in this air energy. If you're seeing, you know, them do strange patterns or, you know, they're acting up, they feel it just as much. You know, so it's right there just proving itself to you.
Exactly. Y'all thought we saw crows now, or Pluto's in Aquarius. Yeah. Anyway, um, okay. So to answer this question real quick, hey, wait, 7 Mile Rick. I, all right, Detroit's in the building. But this question says, how does this tie in strange animal activity? Listen, that's Saturn in Pisces. Okay. Saturn represents old vintage things. Pisces is big animals. So y'all been noticing we have this rare animal that's going extinct, but I've never seen the animal in my life. So they're bringing out old animals that you've never heard of. They're probably even going to start to clone older animals because Saturn, right? Older things, and Pisces. Okay, so y'all come back when we do the Saturn and Pisces video, when we do the Jupiter and Gemini video, when we do the Neptune and Aries video, which is going to be, y'all not ready for it. Because Neptune and Aries is going to be happening at the same time that Pluto is, oh my goodness. This is the greatest time to be alive. The greatest time to be alive, because the things that we are seeing happening, our parents, our grandparents, and great grandparents, and great great grandparents did not witness this energy. So you chose to incarnate at this time on purpose. So now that you know better, now that we're enlightening you with all this information, you can't go back and doing the old thing you do. You have to do better. Sorry. Okay. So another thing I want to talk about is the major blackout that's going to happen. Why am I saying major? Okay, because Pluto. Usually, anything that Pluto touches is going to make that thing go through some type of dying and then coming alive again, whether it be spiritually, physically. Okay, so this is why if you have Pluto transiting, let's say like your third house or your seventh house, you can witness. I don't want to say that because I want to scare y'all, but people can pass away. And people that have to deal with those houses. Okay, so Pluto brings death. Okay, so when you have, I'm going to talk about two things with this: Pluto and Aquarius, and then the ladies will, you know, say their thing. Pluto and Aquarius. Okay, major blackout because the rebirthing process to future technologies, to social media, to the internet itself. So the internet, as we know it, the www internet, on its way out. You're about to be done typing www over that. We're phasing that out. The new phase of the internet is spatial computing. So the way that y'all see Apple Vision Pro, get used to that. That's the internet moving forward. It's called IOB, the Internet of Bodies. So the internet that we know has to die. Pluto and Aquarius. Not only is the internet going to have to die, but you're going to start to see people even posting on social media less. You're already seeing it now. So that is one thing. I'm just going to put that out there so they can say more things about it. But also death on a major scale. And I was iffy if I was going to bring this one up because I didn't want to scare anybody, but I just got to keep y'all straight. I always tell you, okay? So the death coming to large groups of people. Okay. How that's going to come? Well, Mars is also going to be in Aquarius, y'all. War coming to large groups. Okay. So, ladies, what y'all got to say about that?
I was going to say that the thing that you said about the death and rebirth, about with that eighth house energy and things like that. So people taking stances, if you've had any type of essay or any type of, a different way you look at when it comes to sex as well, because that's a death and rebirth. So exploring different ways, like the AI, you posted in our group about the AI brothel house, and that part. And then also about the presidency. So like everybody's talking about all of that. So like Amber has said, like this is probably going to be our last physical president. I don't know if you all saw, like they had AI churches now, like the pastors being AI and stuff like that. But like Amber said, it was like this presidency and the way that we go about voting and everything like that, and that major blackout coming, think like towards when it comes to election time and things like that, because they have to create a crisis in order to feel like they're saving someone. You get what I'm saying? So they have to create chaos, fear, things like that. And then, that dies down. And then the rebirth is, hey, AI's here, AI cops, AI, stuff like this. Trust them, because you can't trust regular people. So be on the lookout how you start seeing that the robot cops, like you saw in New York, everything that has to do with the justice system, because the 11th house with Aquarius rules laws as well. So when you see the justice system in that sense, more AI when it comes to like your new driver's license, you know how you have to have the real ID things. So being able to travel, your passport, stuff like that is going to all come into play about how you move about and who you really are. Scanning your face, and you guys keep scanning your faces like we talk about in class, like you keep telling them this how I'm gonna look at such and such. Like all of that information, all that data collection is being collected for a reason. They want to be able to match. Okay, if you changed your hair a different color, would that change your face if you aged a couple of years? Then remember that challenge that came out about show yourself 10 years later or before or something? All that data, there's a reason why they collect that data to get ready for this time now, so that when the RoboCop pulls you over, whether you change your face or not, they're still going to be able to say, no, that's you. And you won't be able to negotiate with a robot.
Exactly. Now,
But also too, that's definitely going to start, like we talk about all the time, the social credit system, where you jaywalk, you have facial recognition, you didn't pay your ticket, you didn't return your library book, and that's going to cause you to not be able to go in certain places. That's going to, like you said, you get a ticket on the street, we're not going to wait for you to pay for it. We're going to take that out your account right now. It's going to cause you to not be able to participate in certain things. You post this on social media, all right, you're banned, not just banned on social media, in real life. So that's definitely what we're gonna start seeing.
bars. Y'all see, man, I told y'all about the 5D readers. Y'all playing. These ladies they did not come to play. They're telling y'all the playbook of what's happening. Now is the Renaissance is going to happen. Now I'm going to say these three things and then back out. Okay. Now, usually when something happens in our reality, they push it out through pop culture because pop culture is backed by the large mutual funds and index funds that runs everything. Okay. So Beyonce, what was her whole big thing? Renaissance. Okay. Kanye, what is his whole big thing right now? Wearing black, dressing like a ninja everywhere. Why is that his thing? Is he a rising Scorpio? Probably not. But they are privy to information about future events and things to come. Now, you're going to be used to seeing black everywhere because everybody's just get really intrigued with the color black. Why? Pluto is an Aquarius. Groups of people are going to be infatuated with the color black and things of death and death aesthetics. Yeah. Skulls. Kanye was just wearing like the Jason, like very like Halloween for the next 20 years. Crazy. Probably gonna be bigger than Christmas. Um,
We
so
were
those type of
just saying that. We're saying how people are gonna dress up as their avatars in real life.
Yes, anime all over. If you think that you saw it in just on the TV thing, or when you see the little anime conventions and stuff, like get ready to see, like you're walking down the street or you go someplace to the store, if you are still going to stores, because malls, shopping, you see a little FYI, if you're getting into stocks and stuff, start investing in Amazon and those different forward thinking, any future AI stuff is where you need to be putting your money, because it's definitely going there. I don't know if you've noticed, it's Amazon stuff all over. Why? Because they want to be able to get your stuff to you. So like when it says, you'll slowly start seeing stuff that says can get it today by 3 o'clock. If you order by Sunday, remember in the beginning we used to do Amazon, it may take days to get something. But now, like with the AI, they have robots in their warehouses and stuff. So that also
The
means a
rise
loss
of
of job.
drone delivery
Yes, drop it right on
robots.
the thing. So whatever you do, see how you can make that futuristic. Whatever you do, can you make that incorporate something like that to be able to, if that's how you make your money? So big, like Amber said, in tech. However, you can make that switch to be able to change with the times, or you're going to get lost.
exactly. Nicole's always saying like tech stocks to invest in. Um,
Yeah,
now,
someone in here said stellar lumens. Like, all I can say is begin your research now. Blockchain, understand it,
mhm,
understand like the financial systems and what it'll look like if they go away, and what is already starting to peek its head out, that's coming.
exactly. And one thing that another thing that's happening right now that correlates with Pluto and Aquarius is the tech right now is crazy with firing people, like laying off people. There's like major layoffs everywhere. Why? Well, what are we talking about today? Pluto Aquarius, right? I have to deal with a lot of um, they they have to fire a certain amount of people while still advertising that they're hiring, even if you can apply to 40 jobs and don't get one interview, right? Because they have to look like they're looking for people. So that can be like, well, we're looking for people, but nobody's applying. So that who can come in and save the day? Aquarius, artificial intelligence. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's
Um,
definitely already happening with all the automation. I see it every day. I work in healthcare and everything like that is pretty much like on like the lower levels, like the, face to face type of transaction. Like everything is being wiped out. You see it in the banks. There's no tellers. You may see like one person. You see it in the grocery stores with the self checkout, which I have a crazy, experience with that. Like I literally was like trying to figure out where to put my card. So I had sat down, my item, and then the camera goes off and it's like replaying back the video, like showing it go over here. And I'm like, seriously, nobody's trying to steal, but seriously, then like you're gonna get, caught on the spot, you're gonna get a ticket on the spot. So there's like you can't get away with anything.
Oh, that brings me to the people who have the smart cars. Guys, I'm always saying about that. Like, remember how you could just go, like, if you commit a crime or you do something, watch your car stop. Like, y'all saw that movie that just came out with the, showing the future or the timings, whatever the one was, and the Teslas were running into each other and crashing, and you couldn't control. So imagine you're driving your Tesla, but somebody can tap in and stop your car mid wherever you are. Like all the smart things, people like your smart homes, where it'd be like doors locked. If they want to create a self quarantine or something like that, like those are ways that we are going forward with those kind of ideas. Everything smart technology, smart homes, smart cars. But that's also things that, like, when the government's involved or things like that, if they want to stop you, they're going to stop you. What are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? You run a red light, you're stuck, your car stops moving because you committed a crime. You know what I'm saying? So you won't really have much control over that, but you will see that happening more and more, and they keep pushing it. They're making laws, like they just made a thing that all telephone lines have to be out. You can only have a home phone if it's digital, or the FiOS. There's no more hardcore telephone lines plugged in. That's out the window.
yes. Okay, so I just plugged in my phone. The volume's probably gonna be different, but like we can't end this talk right now. It's too juicy. It's too juicy. Okay. Something else is major businesses moving to the digital space. Um, the death of big business. Big business is represented by the 11th house. The death of big business, and then the transference of big business to digital spaces. So everything I mean, you can pretty much see that the main company that's causing digital or physical companies to close is Amazon. We've already been talking about in class, we're probably not going to see any malls anymore. Like real malls, like LSF was saying, virtual malls. Wait 1 second, I'm getting a ringing in my ear. It's a download. Y'all can go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. That is true. No malls. When's the last time y'all been to a mall, and like you'll see those strip malls? We just talked about that. Remember, like massive places closing, even Walmart, like places where Walmart, so it's going to be those empty buildings. It's going to be used for other purposes. And then soon, like, your favorite stores like Target and all that other stuff are going to start selling their inventory to Amazon and to those companies, or another company that is just like that, where it's stored in a warehouse. You'll still be able to get certain items, but it's not coming from, you won't be pulling up to the Target or you won't be pulling up to the mall. You literally will have to, like, they started introducing the technology to like measure your room, and you can actually place furniture and, you know, try on clothes, you know, try the clothes on virtually before you purchase them to see how it fits. Just like, you know, you can change your hair to decide if you want to change it to a different color or what you'll look like with the filters and things like that. Like things not being physically real is what we are moving to in the next 20 years. So like while you're plugged into, my fear is always like, what's going to be happening when we're all plugged into the VRs and people are not moving. And I'm a nurse by nature, so well, that's one of my jobs. So your body atrophies when you haven't moved. Just think, if you're in a rabbit hole, how long you can sit on your computer. You haven't got up, you haven't drank anything, you're dehydrated, and you've been in this virtual world interacting with other people and stuff like that, and you haven't gotten out, and you haven't gone on the outside, so to see the sun, so the artificial sun and different things like that, that's going to be something that comes about too.
Exactly. Let me say this real quick. This is going to ring with somebody. I just got this download. Small businesses are going to take over because we're talking about the death of big business. Pluto represents other people's money, like other people's belongings. And so when you take other people's money and you put it into the 11th house, then you have the main source for groups being is going to be supporting like smaller business, other people's money. So the death of big business, the emergence, that's the Renaissance.
The
That's
birth
actually,
of humanitarian, being a humanitarian.
wow, because the 11th house represents exactly.
And they're known for giving to others. So we're going to move into a time where people are going to feel called to have service to others and find part of that in their daily life, service to others.
Reparations as well.
And
Exactly.
bartering, you always talk about the bartering system.
Just wrote that down.
That's because
Please,
we all feel
bartering.
fun.
Man, let's go. Let's
That
go.
bartering system, man, like what trade or skill do you have, and how you stand in group spaces.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You guys, it's been amazing. I have to run, but you guys are amazing.
Yes. Nicole, see you in class Wednesday.
See you there. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So as we begin to close this out, we're gonna talk about a few more things. Y'all give us until 6:30. Y'all give us until 6:30, and then we'll be done. Okay. An hour and a half, so I think is good enough for live, because y'all know when I jump on live, it's usually like 3 or 4 hours. Okay, so we're gonna do hour and a half today. Okay. Now, we just talked about small business. The first, write this down. The first virtual reality social media app is coming. The first virtual reality social media, I mean, an app that is only for people who have VR headsets only. So I mean, you put on your headset, you go chill in the VR cafe with your friend Tommy. Your friend Tommy lives in Sweden and you live in California, but y'all put on your VR headsets and y'all are best friends who physically meet up every day because y'all have VR headsets. So the physical connection between y'all meeting up in real life is not gonna make any difference, because when I high five Tommy in the VR world, I can feel his hand. I can feel the lines in his hand. I can take Tommy's hand and go like, whoa, let me change the name to Rebecca, because I'm gonna
The
take
haptic
Yeah.
suits.
exactly. You know, so you can take whoever's hand and be like, oh wow, you got an M in your hand, or you know, I like the way you kiss me, Pam. You know, whatever you do with your VR headset, whatever you do, that's your business. But you're going to be able to feel everything. Okay, so the first VR app is coming, bartering, big business, and something else that I had a dream about the other day is like, in my dream there were appliances that had Chat GPT added to them. So your microwave, your stove, air fryer, your toilet, all of those things are going to have Chat GPT added to them. A smart home is coming. Tesla's already selling them. So if you watch the film The Island, we watched that for one of our film nights. When the guy went to go use the restroom, the AI told him, your sodium level is low. Please eat whatever. That's coming to your appliances. Okay? What else y'all got?
I was just gonna give a brief overview, like people, so you need to like get your chart, and like one of the questions that came up is like, what if the house that has Aquarius is empty? Like, so you feel like it's not really gonna affect you, but it is just the energy of that house and the ruler of that, where your natal Pluto is. So you're going to have that energy amplified. So if you're like a person that likes to do your own research, because we encourage you to learn, like the more you learn, the smarter you are, the better you can apply it to yourself instead of like, you know, so just understanding that energy, first how you see how that plays out in your life, and then you take that and insert that in those group spaces for the whole collective. You're going to hear a lot of the collective coming down the pike. What does the collective want to move as together? So finding your space that will also be how you fit in these new spaces, because whether you like it or not, Pluto is obsessed. Astro says it all the time. Pluto's obsessed. Whatever it's in, it's obsessed. So you don't want, it's going to be like dragging you like this. But if you're not prepared, you're just going to feel disoriented and feel like you are having one of those soul moments. Like, what the F is happening? So that's how we try to
Yeah.
help you
And
along.
check those aspects. I feel like we always checking the charts, you're always checking the houses, check those aspects, because as like we learned in class, those have so much more control than the houses, than the sign, the degree. Check the degrees. So that's definitely what we've been learning. And like you said, there's no way when you start to dive deep into this stuff, you can think anything otherwise. Like it's laid out right in front of you. You know, it's there. We just, you can't make this stuff up.
Exactly. Everything that you have done and will do is in your natal chart. It's you. It's you. So this is our interpretation of Pluto in Aquarius. At least half of it, because we have, yeah. What class are y'all talking about? We well, over on Patreon we do astrology classes every Monday and Wednesday at 3:33. We've been doing this for a year now. All right. So in the background, 5D readers have been preparing to do exactly what we're doing now, to take up space in this area and to help you all to remember who you are. You see, now that Pluto's in Aquarius, anybody who's out here doing things for selfish people who are out here in this space right now, they're gone. They're gone. If you're not out here trying to help other people in this time, you're not going to see longevity. Now we're in a space to where it's all about other people. How can you help other people? Pluto in Capricorn was all about, how can I get my bag? How can I, like, wills, careers, Hollywood, like all of those major themes took over our lives for the past 20 years, y'all. And before that, most of us was brought up in the church, and that was Pluto and Sagittarius. I'm I'm Pluto and Scorpio. Matter of fact, majority of the people who are watching this right now are Pluto and Scorpio. So you have Pluto is a generational planet. It affects entire age groups of people. Okay, so it's the reason why with Pluto and Aquarius, the church was a big thing, and most everybody who in here came from a Christian cult, right? When Pluto was in Capricorn for the past 20 years, it's been this cold energy. It's like you try to make friends, but you don't know how to make friends, right? When you were a lot younger, it was easier to make friends because Pluto was in Sagittarius. So we knew whose house you were over because everybody's bike was there. When Pluto was in Capricorn, nobody wanted to hang out. Now that Pluto's in Aquarius, guess what? Do you want to be my friend? Y'all, the reemergence of kickbacks, like house parties, especially that Jupiter's about to go in Gemini. When Jupiter goes into Gemini, y'all, some of the best, like bonfire conversations, phone conversations, you in a corner with a girl at a party and y'all talking for like 10 hours that night, those type of moments, they're finally back for the next 20 years. Okay, so that's the good side of this amongst all of the age of AI stuff that we're entering.
Can you touch on a little bit where you were telling us about the aspect because Aquarius is also ruled by Saturn? So you said you did want to touch a little bit on that to tell people about, you know, the other side of the thing. So yes, finding your groups and, you know, the positive stuff, but it still is ruled by Saturn.
Oh, yes, Jamie. All right, now, here we go. So we'll spend the last, 13 minutes focusing on this type of okay, so traditionally in Hellenistic astrology, which is the astrology that was drawn up in the age of the Egyptians, which is why I follow it here because, okay. So Saturn has two sides of his personality. One side is the one that you always hear about. Oh, Saturn's stern. Oh, Saturn's a malefic planet. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Saturn has another side, which is the Aquarian side, which is the not so serious side, which is is that Kronos wearing a flower shirt side? Okay. So Pluto and Aquarius is also the era of Saturn because the quote unquote elites, they use traditional astrology. Okay. So we're entering another age of Saturn. We just came out of an age of Saturn with Pluto and Capricorn. Now we're going into another one with Pluto and Aquarius. But it's going to be, Jamie said this earlier, Woodstock energy side of Saturn. Okay. It's going to be that, oh, I should say this though, warning, if you are somebody that likes to gossip, that likes to talk about other people, or just likes to, if you do anything in a group that is manipulative, that is hidden, stop it. Because anything that you do around groups of people that is dishonest will be exposed every single time. You can't hide anything when it comes to groups of people. That's why Neuralink is going to make it incredibly hard for you to, okay, let's say you go to somebody else with a Neuralink, right? And your Neuralink is picking up on all your thoughts. Do y'all know how many thoughts y'all have per day? You ever just have those thoughts like, just whatever, like, why do tuna fish do, I don't know, whatever. What I'd be having some weird thoughts, so I'm not gonna go there. But so if your Neuralink is picking up on all of those thoughts and it registers that thought as a command, then it's going to be harder to hide your thoughts. So Neuralink is bringing a artificial form of telepathy. Okay, so it's going to be other forms of this that's going to make it harder for you to hide what you're thinking around other people because your computer can already pick up on your thoughts and show you an ad for it. What happens when you're with a group of people and your computer's picking up on your thoughts, displaying it to everybody about what you're thinking in real time? That technology is coming. There, while Pluto's in Aquarius, you're going to be able to play back your dream. You're going to be able to play back a moment that you just had with somebody, like Black Mirror. Those contacts, they already have the technology. The Alexa glasses, the feature is probably not available now, but it will be. Record and playback. Oh, you said you didn't say that? How do you know that? They have a slew of commercials out right now. I don't know if y'all been noticing, But it's a slew of commercials out right now where somebody's at a table and they're like, wait, I didn't say that. Play back the tape. Bring out the flag. Have y'all seen that? Roll back the tape. It's going to be like that in real time. Babe, I said I was going to cook dinner tonight. No, you didn't. I said I was going to cook dinner. Oh, really? Okay. Rewind it. I got my glasses right here. I got the video file. And it's showing that I said that I was going to play. So that technology is already here, but it's coming. Like, for everybody. Okay, so when I say if you're a liar, just go to church today or whatever you got to do to, bro, you're playing yourself if you try to do anything to anybody. That's okay. So I think I got that point out. So that is the age of Saturn that we're entering, the age that's more, you have to be honest when it comes to groups of people. Okay. And okay, that's all. That's all I'll say. What else y'all got before we got a couple more minutes? What about when that's manipulated? What do you mean? Somebody says, so in your opinion, will this be more dystopian or utopian? Both. It's not going to be an absolute. It's going to be both at the same damn time. Imagine, the singularity is coming. So imagine evolving 20 years or 50 years in 10 years time or 20 years time. Like, I don't like, I can't even express the level of what's coming because y'all can hear what I'm saying, but then y'all probably are going to think like, okay, it's going to be like whatever. But then when it actually happens, y'all are going to say like, oh shit, this is what he was talking about? Or this is what they were talking about? Yeah. And it's not only Pluto and Aquarius, but we just warned y'all about all of this air energy that's coming up. Okay? So get tornado insurance for one. Side note, did y'all know tornadoes only happen in the United States? Did y'all hear about that? Okay, look that up. Research that. Research that. That shit's crazy. But anyway, so yeah. What else?
And don't, I was gonna say like whatever you have hidden, because I'm a Scorpio sun, so whatever you have hidden, like just think about those thoughts that you don't really like to tell anybody. That's why they say it's exposure season. So like he said, being honest and having integrity, things that you think won't come out, it's gonna be receipts with it. Not only that, because it doesn't just show a little peek of it, it'd be like, and pour it all out, and you're like, and it forces you to have to become a new person. So think of people like you see somebody like you said, and next year they won't be the same. Something will happen in your life that will is going to completely flip, so that you can move with the time.
Yeah, that's
So,
the Saturn death and rebirth energy. Like it's right there. You can't get away from it.
and y'all see it up and down your timeline. You see it like in real time. I know y'all have seen the stuff when Diddy, like all of that stuff coming out, and then other people. Then it like the theme of the groups. So as soon as one person said it, oh, I have something to say. I want to tell my story. So you know what I'm saying, things that have been able to be contained and hushed, that also comes to your family, groups of people that's also your family. So family secrets. Don't be surprised if somebody comes out and says, you know, this been happening for years. You know what I'm saying? That kind of energy being exposed. So if you are operating in the best, expect all of that too.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell y'all a few more things. We got 5 minutes. 5 minutes. So give me a second to look at my list. Actually, I remember some things. We have the rise of 3D printing. That's coming. So 3D printing is already here, but it hasn't like taken off like the internet. It's going to have its moment to where you can 3D print your new arm cast because you broke your arm. You can 3D print your new leg, your bionic leg. You can 3D print a whole girlfriend. Hello? There's posters right now for a movie called Lisa Frankenstein that says, if you can't find your perfect boyfriend, make one. Watch Westworld. All you need is a genetic makeup for anything that you are trying to duplicate, print. So if you have the genetic makeup for a kidney, you can print a kidney. I showed y'all a video a while ago with the bionic organs that can be controlled via the, infrared
The
technology.
AI babies.
Yep,
AI
AI
based.
surrogacy. We already saw that.
Hello? I saw a 3D printed house. Guess what? You're about to see that's going to be one of the solutions for homelessness, 3D printed homes. Write that down. Orgies, polyamory, polygamy. I'm going to miss that by a whole football field because that's just not my style, my steez. But if that's something you're into, guess what? Orgy parties, the rise of polyamory, like you're gonna see people with like 5 girlfriends or like whole houses of like just couples having babies and stuff like together. That's Woodstock energy, like Jamie said. All of that is here, and um, it's gonna be happening a lot more, especially when Jupiter goes into Cancer in 2025. Babies. Okay. Um, I want to say that's everything, or that's not everything, but that's all we can provide for you today. Let me check my list one more time. Do you ladies have any other points that you want to point out before we get out of here?
I was going to say, Amber gave us a what was that show you have us watching, where it shows the future and like it was the gods that
Oh, Monarch.
yes.
That's a good one.
Amber put me on that show. I had no plans of watching it, but she was like, they're talking about inner earth. I said, say less. Go watch Monarch. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I had no idea. The last thing that I'll say is I just saw it. One second. Okay. So this is for the freaks. Scorpios, I'm looking at you. I'm a rising Scorpio. Okay. So I'm talking to myself. Okay. So you know how now there's Corn Hub? I said this in a video, but I just want to say it again. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. If your boyfriend or your fiance, if your husband's missing, if they all of a sudden want separate rooms, well, don't fault them for the separate rooms. But listen, VR sex, y'all, like Tinder, Hinge. Imagine when you take Tinder to VR and instead of swiping, you're meeting somebody. You're meeting their avatar. And in 30 seconds, either I'm gonna pass. Y'all, there's a show right now where 2 people sit down at a table, they can hit a buzzer saying like pass. Imagine that for Tinder. And people can meet up in Tinder in that same night, match, and that same night have VR.
And they've already been training you. So the people who have the toys and the pockets and the different stuff is training your body to interact with things that are false, right? So you know how the big thing with the rose came out and all of the stuff, the strap-ons, like all of that energy. So that's to help, like they always are going to lead you down this path. So if you get used to having those things that are not real, and so it takes the emotion out, because Aquarius can be detached energy, right? So I don't really gotta, be with you or whatever, but I mess with you right now. So that kind of energy. So it's like, you know, you're going to do that and you use your instrument. So you're already used to dealing with something that's not real inside your body, placing your body parts inside of things or playing with things that are not real. So when it comes along and now you don't really got to hide it, you could be someplace tucked away. Just know they'd be like, no, I'm good. What you mean good? Like they already done had the stuff in the oven, you know. So that is something you will see. Like that's coming in that next 20 years. That's Pluto and that's the Scorpio 8th house energy. Things that's in your back of your brain that you think you'll be judged for, you'll be able to act those things out. That's all I got.
Okay. Okay. I swear this is the last thing I'm going to say. Okay. I do this all the time in class. They used to it. Okay. I'll say it's the last thing I'm going to say, and then 30 minutes later, okay. But anyway, I swear this is the last thing I'm going to say, and then we gone. Okay. So, IG Live, what you're seeing now, get used to it. Because when Jupiter hits Gemini, they're going to use that energy within the next year to release like virtual meetings. Zoom is going to be VR. Like everything's going to make the transition to VR. So y'all, we're about to have some of the best conversations. Some of like, when Jupiter hits Gemini, I can almost guarantee that Instagram, TikTok, like all of these platforms are going to have a way to where you go live, we're going to put on a VR headset and like, let's say it'd be
Your 2 thumbs up now. See how they have interactive things by why you put up. You didn't know that? That's a new upgrade to the Apple phones. When you put up thumbs or you do something, see?
Oh shit. Okay.
Real time. Y'all see how that stuff is real time? Like the interactions just by your movements, that's getting you prepared for virtual.
And it's tracking my thumb like I don't that's whew. Okay, but that's all I'm gonna say. Jupiter and Gemini, just watch because Gemini represents like communication devices like cell phones, like laptops. So when Jupiter goes into Gemini, you might see new cell phone companies, like not just iPhone and Android, like new companies. Like IG Live is going to be like when we first went into quarantine. Every day, your favorite people are going to be on IG Live. Okay, let me stop right there because this can go this can go really far. We're going to do a whole Jupiter and Gemini video. So come back. Upcoming videos, we have Jupiter and Gemini, Saturn and Pisces, Neptune and Aries. I'm just finding out everything today. Wow. Does this do something? Anyway, let me get out of here before I start doing flips. Thank y'all so much for joining us today for this, our interpretation, the 5D Mystery School interpretation of Pluto and Aquarius. This video will be posted on YouTube, and it's going to be on the next season of the 5D Mystery School podcast. And that's all. We'll see y'all for the next live, the next video. And please follow Jamie. Please follow Amber and follow Nicole. Please follow them. Get used to them. You're going to be seeing a lot of them. All right. Love y'all.
Thanks for joining. Peace.